this donor funding to meet our government priorities as stipulated in the National Development Plan and the 7 administration priorities. We have also communicated with all departments to provide credible revenue enhancement strategies to be developed and implemented by provincial departments, public entities and municipalities in line with their respective mandate. Because we can ask, and all of us can ask for more money, but when there are budget cuts, there will not be more money unless we take necessary steps and we are deliberate in our action that where there's an opportunity for revenue in all our areas of our mandate, we do so. And we will be here to support all departments to increase our revenue as a province. The provincial treasury will embark on an intensification and massification of the skills development program targeted at unemployed individuals with matric and those with post-matric qualification. This will be done through an engagement process with the relevant sectoral education and training authorities to ensure proper accreditation for the intended trainees. The aim of the program is for the province to be able to increase the number of skilled personnel to be placed in municipalities across the province, and not only in municipalities, even in public entities, but most importantly in traditional authorities, because they too need to be supported and they need the necessary accounting and financial management skills to manage their financial affairs. The province will be commenced for the development and introduction of a standardized financial system that will be utilized by all municipalities in the province. The system is intended to be a transversal system that will be used for reporting by all municipalities. This will enable provincial treasury to monitor performance of municipalities on financial management issues with a view of enhancing continuous improvement in that environment. This will empower the province to be able to enhance its oversight responsibility within municipalities. It has also become clear that for all the challenges we face, all the disagreements amongst us as South Africans, ours is a true democracy with so much to offer to the world. Freedom is not granted. It carries with it a value which each generation must weigh up and, if necessary, defend. This fight will not be comfortable with nice, clear answers. It asks of us that at the very least to engage in awkward conversation when generalities, niceties, and many others would be so much easier.
MEC,
our nation.
MEC, as you move, you know you have 10 minutes remaining.
Honorable Speaker, the President Cyril Ramaphosa, during the opening of Parliament, highlighted 3 key focus areas, which I would not outline. All of us, I think we were tuned in. We wish to table our budget as follows. The administration on 158,540,000 rands. On sustainable resource management, it's 136,569,000 rands. On assets and liability management, 62,292,000 rands, and the financial governance is 196,402,000 rand. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I wish to express my gratitude to my political home, the African National Congress, which has deployed me to this important portfolio. The Premier, Honorable Kagiso Lazarus Mokgotsi, who have confidently bestowed this responsibility on me. I can only commit that I will not disappoint this glorious movement of the people, and will, with your support, ours is to serve and put our peoples first. I wish to extend my gratitude to the Portfolio Committee led by Chairperson Honorable Tlhapi. We have noted your valuable inputs and we're looking forward to working with you in making the lives of our people better. I would also like to thank the team of Treasury led by the SG Ndate Kunene for making me and taking me through the operations, achievements and challenges of the department and committing themselves to bringing solutions and from lessons learned, and I'm looking forward to receiving their unwavering support. To my Chief Whip, my predecessor, Honorable Khosho, thank you for handing over a stable department steering this ship. The team has attested that you have been a true and a visionary captain. I can only build on the solid foundation you have laid. To my family, which include comrades and friends, thank you for your support and belief in the African National Congress. Most of you had sleepless nights praying, many waking up early in the morning, especially volunteers, to deliver victory to the ANC. To civil society, all sectors which include the traditional and religious leaders, women, youth, the LGBTQI+ community, persons living with disability, the arts, culture, heritage, farmers, biodiversity sector, sports organization, amongst others. We thank you for opening your doors, taking our call, telling it like it is, and most importantly for your support. We can only do better and more collectively with you by our side. Let's do more together. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Musenuki. Thank you so much. I now call the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Premier Finance, Honorable Tlhapi, to lead the debate on the following: Committee Report on Provincial Treasury, Annual Performance Plan 24-25. Honorable Tlhapi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Tlhapi, you have 8 minutes.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and let me also greet honorable members. Let me also take this opportunity to welcome the policy statement by MEC Musenuki, hoping that we will indeed, MEC, work together to make sure that our people have service delivery. Madam Speaker, honorable members, the Portfolio Committee deliberated on several matters, and Honorable MEC and SG and the team, the committee on their deliberations sought clarity on the AG's findings that are recurring and there is no improvement, and are there any measures in place to address those matters? There is also intervention by the Provincial Treasury at Mamusa, Makwasi Hills, Matlosana local municipality. The committee raised a concern about what led to the intervention, particularly in Matlosana, where there is still irregular expenditure that occurs at the municipality. Madam Speaker, the committee also raised a concern that Tswayin, Ditsobotla, Madibeng and Khetle local municipality and Dr. RSM are deteriorating and operations and service delivery. What are the causes of this? The committee also inquired if there is an improvement in the 30-day payments to the service providers. If not, what is the department doing in holding the departments who do not adhere to this? The committee also appreciates the work that department is doing in giving support to municipalities. And this one, MEC, the committee is very happy in addressing that matter for making sure that you helping the municipalities, including the PRs that have been deployed to the municipalities. The committee also comments the Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you. Madam Speaker, the committee inquired if there's an improvement in the 30 days. This one I've spoken about. The committee commends the department for providing economic empowerment that caters for women, youth, and people with disability. The committee also raised a concern on interventions of public entities that do not submit AFS to the AG, particularly the NTI. The committee inquired about the support of the provincial treasury to the entity so that the national treasury regulations are complied. There are concerns about the delays in the filling funded vacant posts within the departments. The committee also sought clarity on the turnaround time for departments to fulfill these funded posts, and is there a plan in place to address this matter? The committee also inquired if it is possible for provincial treasury to appoint a forensic auditor services to probe supply chain management matters at municipality. A concern also was raised about the waste facilities in the province that are malfunctioning due to the lack of funds. The committee wanted to know if it is possible for the provincial treasury to revise the budget for the waste management. The committee also sought clarity on the outcome and the output indicators of the quarterly financial assessment in relation to the provincial spending. The committee, Madam Speaker, also raised a concern on the non-spending of the conditional and infrastructure grants by the departments. We want to know if there is a plan. The committee also raised a concern that municipalities are spending on consultant to compile AFS, yet no municipality submit a good AFS. Adinale mosola di consultant or le plan ya gore le ka di resolve because they are spending a lot of money on consultant, but ga gona sepe se leng gore sa diragala. The committee wanted also to know if the provincial treasury and Department of Coxta have signed an MOU in making sure that they support and then they make oversight to the municipalities in the whole province. Madam Speaker, the Portfolio Committee has agreed on the recommendations, and the recommendations are as follows. The provincial treasury must submit a list of identified municipalities who requires assistance The recommendations of the Portfolio Committee are as follows, Madam Speaker.
I'm sorry, Chairperson, for the inconvenience. I'm not sure, but the secretary is taking care of.
Madam Speaker.
You can continue, Chair. Sorry for the interruption.
The recommendations of the Portfolio Committee are as follows, Madam Speaker. The provincial treasury must submit a list of identified municipalities who requires assistance with the implementing a financial recovery plan, inclusive of the provincial executive representatives deployed to a municipality, and it must be submitted within 7 days. The provincial treasury must put measures in place to monitor departments' non-spending on conditional and infrastructure grants. Madam Speaker, the Portfolio Committee recommends that the House approves the recommendations by the Portfolio Committee. And thank you very much, Honorable Premier, all MECs, honorable members. Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. You saved us some few minutes. We will now call Honorable Mate from the ANC. Can I request all the members that are debating to ensure that they are closer to the podium? I will pardon you because it's your maiden speech today. Honorable Mate? Honorable Member, you have 9 minutes to present your debate. Thanks.
Thank you, Speaker. Motlotlegi Musa Khotla, Motlotlegi Tonakgolo Ramokgosi, batlotlegi ba komiti khuduthamaga, batlotlegi ba ntlo e, balalediwa borra le bomma. Letsatsi le ga le tshwane le matsatsi a mangwe. Letsatsi le dingwaga di le 36 tse di fetileng kana ka latlhegelwa ke rre. Ka jalo re tlisa fa pegelo ye ya go motlotla. Mokgatlho wa gaetsho o phatsimang o e leng one o mogolo mo Africa, African National Congress. African National Congress e leng gore ga go opo ka kgonang go ema mo pele ga yone. Le ga ka leka
Honorable members.
ga kitla khona
Honorable
le
members.
ditekanyetso ka botse re di tlisantse ga go mashetlo ka kgonang go ema mo pele ga tsone. Ona mokgatlho mo ngwageng mo o rile wa re ngwaga o ke ngwaga wa tiragatso e kopaneng go sireletsa tokologo ya rona le go ntshetsa pele botshelo jo bo botoka go botlhe go se ope yo tlogelwang ko morago. Ke motlotlo gore ke be ke romilwe ke ANC le batho ba province e go ema fa re ema nokeng tekanyetso kabo e tlhagisitsweng ke mokhuduthamaga. Tautona ya naga ya rona motlotlegi Cyril Ramaphosa o ikuetse mo bathong ba Afrika Borwa go dira mmogo. O ikuetse mo go bona go tsenya matsogo mo go ageng mo bekeng e fetileng ga re monopola ko ntlong ko kopanong e neng e kopa e tlhakanetswe ke matlo a mabedi a parlamente o rile a re re na le maitlamo a go boelanya sethaba sa rona ka go tsweletsa bosiamisi jwa loago le katlego e lekaneng go botlhe. Re ikemiseditse go tokafatsa matshelo a naga ya rona le batho ba yone ka kgolo e akaretsang go tlhola ditiro le go fokotsa lehuma se se re ama rotlhe. Musa Khotla mo go tseneng mo dipuisanong tsa gompieno re tshwaya gore mokgatlho wa Afrika Borwa, mokgatlho wa African National Congress mo ditlhophong tsa maloba o supoditse baemanokeng ba ona mme gape wa ipoeletsa mo ditlhophong ka tlaleletso tsa dikarolo tse pedi tsa ko matlosane mme wa se tlogele ba ko madibeng ko Ward 25 le bone wa ba suputsa. Se se ra gore batho ba Afrika Borwa ba tsweletse go tshepa lenaneo la African National Congress. Madi a re tlileng go a nea lefapha gompieno a tlile go tabogisa ka lebelo le le tsitsibanyang ditiragatso tsa go fitlhisa ditirelo ko baaging mme dilo tse di neng di diragala maloba tsa gore kgelelo lese le gongwe e tlile go nna selo sa maloba. Lefapha le tsa karolo e tona mo go netefatseng gore ditlhabololo tse di kopaneng tsa dikgaolo di a diragala. Re itumella gore re na le ditlamorago tse di edileng tse di kgathisang tsa bo masepala. Go na le bo masepala ba ba 12 ba ba tswileng go tswa mo dipoelong tse ne di sa amogelesege mme ba bararo ba le 9 ba tswile foo go tlhatlogela go 12 ba ba na le dipoelo tse leng gore di amogelesega mme go tswa ko lefela re na le ba le 12 ba le bararo jaanong ba e leng gore dipegelo tsa bone di amogelesega go sena pelaelo epe. Ibile bo masepala ba rona ba fokotsegile ba e leng gore ba tla ka ditekanyetso kabo tse di senang lodi. Re lebogela lefapha gore le be le dirile seo mme re itumella lenaneo la go tsereganya mabapi le matlole ko bo masepaleng ba Ditsobotla, Tswaing, Ramotshiri Moilwana le Dimadibeng Kgetleng, Rusigomotsi Mompati, Mamusa Matosana le Makwasi Hills. Mme re ikuela gore go nne le mokgwa wa go bona ga dilo di sa tsamaye sentle go sentsane go na le nako. Re ikuela go lefapha gore le leke go leba go tlisa bokgoni ko bo masepaleng ba rona ka gore se se tla re thusa bo masepala ba rona ba tsamaisiwe sentle. Batho ba nagae, batho ba province ba tsa lefapha le tsie, mme ga ba phoso ga ba na le go solofela go le gontsi mo go lone ka gore lefapha le dirile tiro e ntsi, ba ntse ba tsamaya mo beke le beke ba tlhola seemo sa dibuka tsa bo masepala. Ka jalo baagi ba province e motlotegi Mokhuduthamaga ba re fitlhise molaetsa wa gore go batho ba ba ipeileng gore bone ga ba kitla ba tsamaisa dilo go aka molao, go batho ba ba iphileng di-unity tsa supply chain ko bo masepaleng ba rona. Ra re ka tekanyetso kabo ye tsiboga re go thiba bogodu bo. Ra re ka tekanyetso kabo ye emang le go netefatsa gore tiro eo.
As you wrap up, you have 2 minutes.
Le go ne ke a leboga motlotegi Musakgotla. Ra re ka tekanyetso kabo ye mokgwa o wa batho ba go ikhumisa ka madi a tsentseng a fitlhelele setšhaba o tshwanetse go rofela. Ka jalo mo moemong ba ANC re ema nokeng tekanyetso kabo ye mme ra kopa gore ntlo e lone e eme nokeng. Ke a leboga.
Thank you, Honorable Mate. Honorable members, we were supposed to adopt the report by the chairperson before Honorable Mate ascend the stage. Can I request the House that do we adopt the report by the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee on Provincial Treasury and Premier, Honorable Tapi? Do the House agree to the report? Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable members. I will now call on the podium Honorable Bogatsu from the EFF. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Greetings to the commissars and fighters of the official opposition party in the Northwest, which is the EFF. Greetings to Mahosi Aruna, and greetings to the people of Northwest. Honorable Speaker, Provincial Treasury is recognized as the most crucial department in the fulfillment of the core mandate of the provincial government. This is deduced from its role to enable all departments to carry out their duties through the allocation of resources. However, the appointment of Honorable Mosenukhi as MEC of Finance shows the clear inability of the new Premier to appreciate the weight of this department. Since her induction into the executive in 2019, Honorable Mosenukhi served as MEC of both the Department of Economic Development, Environment, Conservation and Tourism, and Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation. Needless to say, she failed dismally in both roles and hid behind the COVID-19 pandemic as a result for her failures. Even with that, the various sectors and communities over which she governed are still bearing the brunt of the damage she caused. Honorable Speaker, the APP presented by the Provincial Treasury could very well have been a one-page, because all it says is that the department has done absolutely nothing for its financial year, but spent more money on programs that failed in the previous financial years, and tried to hide money through sub-programs such as the corporate services and financial management, where an increase of approximately 21 million in the budget was allocated over the past 2 financial years, but annual targets were decreased by more than half. This level of thuggery was expected from the former MEC, who was not only a cheerleader to those whose names are being called by prison cells, but also neglected her duties as MEC to become an elections volunteer earlier this year. Unfortunately, this came at a price that the people of Northwest always seem to pay. Honorable Speaker, for the past 3 financial years, we have been told about the implementation of mandatory financial recovery plans in municipalities that have been declared to be in financial crisis since 2021. Every financial year, we are told about representatives being sent to oversee the implementation of the FRPS that are supposedly meant to stabilize the financial chaos of these municipalities. This year, they were increased from 7 to 15. However, during this time, the municipal manager of Kgetleng Refir municipality increased his salary package last year and added his own benefits outside the prescripts of the legislation, and nothing has been done. Recommendations were made that he be removed, but instead, he is still being protected. Ditswawatla is struggling to retain municipal managers since the by-elections of December 2022, while Matlosane has become a factory of fraud examples amongst municipalities in the province, and yet nothing has been done by the department and its many rescue programs, which provides the words of which proves the words of Prof. Andre of Northwest University to be truthful when he said, and I quote, "Those interventions are unsuccessful in municipalities because the problem is related to skills, capacities, and ethics." Close quote. This problem clearly starts on a provincial level. Honorable Speaker, the NTI is not submitting its annual financial statement, and this has been a tendency for a very long time, and nothing has been done. We request that the MEC to give attention to this issue. Speaker, this department is a complete mess, and the APP presented communicates this. The list of problems faced by the department and the remedial actions proposed indicate that there is no leadership in this department, and we will probably only be going downhill from here. As a result, there is no way in which the progressive EFF would possibly support this budget. The EFF rejects the budget. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Bokhatsu. I will now call on the podium Honorable Walhon. Honorable members, I know it's for the first time, but I'll request with all of you that when you know you are on the speaking note, try and move closer so that you don't take a lot of time coming to the podium. I will pardon the maiden speech of all honorable members. Honorable Walhon, you have 8 minutes.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Speaker. All protocols are observed, Honourable Premier, Speaker, Chair, members and administration. This is my maiden speech in this change at local government level in the past 2 years. The district development model stresses contract management, especially supply chain management. Yet, as I speak, the supply chain management system is the driving force in all municipalities and departments in Northwest of unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure. A previous municipal manager had, via Salgai and other forums like National Treasury, asked why contract management was done externally and not moving back to internal, much like the countries such as the UK, Germany, and even China. He did, however, not have the political support needed to get his answer. I would also like the answer to that question, sorry. The province needs forensic auditors, together with a specialized SAPS unit such as the Hawks, to monitor all, and I stress all, local government in Northwest. You would say now that this is what Section 139 interventions are for, but I would like to put a challenge forward to show us one municipality in Northwest that has changed for the better due to these interventions. Financial teams from provincial
re go dumeletse mogaetsi o ko ka tswang o itumelela jalo fa wa kgaso e o le gone re go dumeletsa go tswa mo diteišeneng tse di farologaneng
provincial and local government experience.
sitting in their air-conditioned offices and obviously the petrol cards they are enjoying to roam around and doing nothing. Because this is the department that should oversee the expenditure and the appropriate use of all the finances they are distributing to various departments. They are there to ensure internal control mechanisms in various departments to ensure that finances of the state are taken care of, spent wisely and distributed wherever it is distributed to achieve intended objectives that have got impact
You have
to
1
the people
minute,
of
Honorable
Northwest.
Tsolo.
That does not happen. The performance report in the portfolio committee, Honorable Speaker, indicates that there is paralysis in different municipalities and entities, including different departments, insofar as making sure that the money given to them is used appropriately, and the Department of Treasury does not have anything reported that they do to ensure that they whip every people on the line, that they do not have even a plan on how they are going to whip every people on the line. They are talking about debt relief programs. They are talking about 3 municipalities mandatory. They are talking about 7 recovery plans. There are lots of municipalities there, Honorable Speaker, that are getting finances from the state that have corrupted and stole and embezzled and engaged in all sorts of fruitless and irregular expenditure, leading to
Your
the
time
collapse
is
of many
up, Honorable
municipalities.
Member.
There is nothing at all, no plan from the Treasury on how they are
Your
going
time
to
is up,
strengthen the
Honorable
different
Member.
finance unit of the departments with
Honorable
either their
Tsolo.
skills or developmental
Honorable
capacity.
Tsolo, your time is up.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. MK is not accepting this particular budget, especially.
Thank you, Honorable Tsolo. Thank you. We'll now call. Thank you, members. Thank you. We'll now call Honorable Groenewald. Honorable member, let's not forget that our members, this is their maiden speech. Please, let's allow them. We'll get them in the next one when they are used. Honorable Groenewald, your 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The Northwest Department Provincial Treasury has a crucial responsibility to govern the Northwest financial resources efficiently to the ultimate benefit of all people and communities of Northwest. In its mandate, it states that the department is the custodian of public resources and has the responsibility of managing such resources in accordance with prescribed legislation. Its vision states the department will be ultimate financial management authority and advisor in fiscal matters to the provincial and local administrations. It goes further to state in its mission that the department is to provide leadership in the management of public resource for efficient, effective economic service delivery through well-coordinated support to the provincial government, entities and municipalities. In short, to manage, provide leadership and advise all levels of government in efficient management of our scarce financial resources to the benefit of our people. However, despite laudable statements, provincial departments and municipalities are still plagued by poor service delivery, instability and regular instances of corruption. In June last year, for example, it was announced that the department have been made great progress to address these issues and to ensure efficient and accountable fiscal management of specific municipalities. These include Naledi, Tshwaying, Maribeng, Ramaswero Moloi, Ditsobotla and Klageng River. It was announced the deployment of provincial executive representatives and the municipal financial recovery teams to intervene in these municipalities to ensure the implementation of rescue plans and the development of financial recovery plans. None of these municipalities are today better off, and the affected communities still suffer from poor service delivery. Ditsobotla, case in point. The municipality and its council clearly had no appreciation or regard for Treasury advice and efforts to save them from themselves. It also undertook that the Treasury would provide technical financial management support to provincial departments, but we still receive qualified audits. We as members of this House and representatives of the Northwest community should seriously consider the real underlying reason for these continuous failures, with the aim to properly empower the Treasury through effective, the necessary legislative and policy changes. The Freedom Front Plus has stated numerous times that no measure of intervention, especially at municipalities, have any chance of success if it's not accompanied by firm action, legal or otherwise, to enforce compliance to legislation, to enforce accountability, and to implement efficient, consequent management measures. In all fairness to the Provincial Treasury, it cannot be expected to succeed if its role is only that of professional advisor, instead of enforcer, to ensure the professional and accountable fiscal management and public resources in Northwest. The Freedom Front Thank you, Chair. Let me close. The Freedom Front Plus will continue to pursue effective oversight to ensure the better financial management of public finances. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Groenewald. Honorable members, I will now request Honorable Mangope to unmute and present his 3 minutes speech. Honorable Mangope, show your face. Show your face. Secretary, are we able to hear him? The House cannot hear. Secretary, I can see your face, I can hear you, but the House cannot hear you. Okay, all right.
Yeah, this is what I've been struggling about the whole morning, Speaker. I even sent you a chat to say, and I even spoke to the technical team to say there is a problem in hearing what is being presented, unfortunately. I don't know whether you were able to access my messages, my chat messages, Speaker.
Members,
And in all honesty, I don't think there's any
Honorable Mangope, I think we have a problem. Members cannot hear anything. Unfortunately, the members have to hear because the MEC must come back and respond to the issues you have raised. So unfortunately, I can hear you, Honorable Mangope. Honorable Mangope, I can hear you. Unfortunately, the House cannot hear you. And unfortunately, you will have to come to the House or you forfeit your minutes of debating. That's an unfortunate situation because I can't be the only one who hear you. The House must also hear, unfortunately. Okay, I understand. Honorable, yes, Honorable Mangope, that will be dealt with, but for now, unfortunately, you can't continue because the House cannot hear you. Unfortunately. The Secretary will get into it. Maybe in the next debate, they would have dealt with the problem, but for now, the House can't hear anything. It's only me who can hear you, unfortunately. We apologize for that. Apology, honorable members. Unfortunately, Honorable Mangope cannot continue with his debate. We will now call Honorable Sibigo from the ANC. Honorable Sibigo, you have 10 minutes.
Oh, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, honorable members of the legislature, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Speaker, just as African National Congress, our role was to actually inform the public about what we have achieved to date and what is that we still want to improve on. We seem to be getting more tempted to concentrate on these misplaced arguments that have been made here, which shows lack of knowledge. And even to the extent that a person who's not an academic would want to argue with a postgraduate for that reason, and confusing the level of qualifications and the requisite skills that applies in terms of this field. However, it's a matter that we'll deal with at an appropriate time towards the end of our discussion. For now, let's first start with what we are here for. Honorable Speaker, we have triumphed in an effort to implant hope in the breast of the millions of our people. We enter into a covenant that we shall build a society in which all South Africans, both blacks and white, will be able to walk tall without fear and in their hearts, assured of their inalienable right to human dignity. A rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world. These are the quotations from Nelson Mandela, which will keep on reminding us why we are here. While the process of resource allocation through budget is elaborate, interactive, and culmination of several stages, with the ultimate aim of determining how best allocated limited resources to unlimited objectives, the ANC applauds Provincial Treasurer for maintaining a clean audit for the past 10 years. Consequently, Honorable Bohatu, clean audit with no matters of emphasis. That's the technical language in finance. It is only that yardstick that you can use to confirm performance of a department, not just by way of coming here and want to impress the ignorant. Honorable Speaker, this achievement is worth celebrating as it distinguishes public servants employed in the department for their commitment to serve the democratic government and on our people with dedication, integrity, and the highest level of professionalism that has always continuously been displayed from National Treasury. I think that was a good point that was raised. Why is it that National Treasury keeps on receiving a clean audit whilst other departments? That's at least an academic engagement that we may want to engage on, because it is with appreciation. You would have to appreciate the fact that there are 3 tiers of government, and you can't have one government interfering directly to the other. And the fact that municipalities are controlled by virtue of municipal resolutions, if such resolutions are compromising their own nature, there's a little bit that the department can do beyond that. And then the one thing again that we want to raise is that we feel concur with visionary president who, like our global icon Nelson Mandela, maintains that we are weavers and cooperation nation, and that in our province, the ANC is determined to take decisive action through provincial government and municipalities work by deepening transformation and accelerating service delivery for the benefit of our people. That remains the commitment of the ANC. As we reclaim the vision to create a united and non-racial, non-sexist and democratic and prosperous nation, founded on the principle of redress of past injustices, reconciliation and nation-building social cohesion, the ANC commits itself to the unalienable values that were championed by Madiba himself. We believe that to achieve better financial outcome, improved integrated planning, budgeting, and monitoring towards alignment of appropriation and expenditure through ongoing monitoring. This will go a long way in supporting provincial departments and entities to promote improved legislative compliance in line with financial regulations and improve audit outcome. The efforts of the provincial treasury in providing oversight and support to promote compliance with supply chain management prescript is thus welcome, as it will contribute towards promoting competitive bidding and equal opportunities for service providers, as well as keeping flawed supply chain management processes. We commend department's audit outcome that have improved from 2019 to date, whereby the department received 8 unqualified, 4 qualified and 1 disclaimer to 10 unqualified, which shows progression in terms of audit language and not regression. Honorable Bohatu. The excellence of provincial treasury must therefore be appreciated and be seen as a mirror for which department can look at. We thus commend the department for sharing best practice with other departments. The momentum of Operation Clean Audit, targeting 5 departments, including Northwest Provincial Legislature, is beginning to bear marginal decrease in irregular expenditure due to targeted interventions that have taken place. Consequence management is the only tool that must be used to reduce irregular expenditure. Enforcement of compliance will also lead to new culture as well as entrenched good governance. We have also seen an improvement in government performance overall, especially in the area of payment of invoices, whereby there's supplies that have to be paid within 30 days. This one is non-negotiable. We will therefore continue to monitor department closely on their compliance on a 30 days account. Most emerging businesses are facing bankruptcy due to extortionists masquerading as public servants within supply chain management that are unashamedly frustrating ANC government empowerment effort to address the triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, inequality, which becomes a concern to all of us. There must be a zero tolerance to incompetence, which must be adopted across public service. Extortionists that demand to be incentivized to process invoices must be unmasked and be held accountable. No efforts must be spared to continuously uproot corruption within government department. We are encouraged by the audit outcome for public entities that have improved from 2019 to date, from 3 unqualified, 5 qualified, and 7 disclaimers to 7 unqualified and 8 qualified. It shows that the province in this regard will continue to attract investment when departments and public entities show performance and redouble their efforts to obtain clean audit. Honorable Bogatsu, to be specific, Honorable MEC Mosenukhi has got a master's degree in business administration, majoring in finance, which is exactly the requisite that applies in terms of competency profile required in that department. Whilst you are still to be even an undergraduate yourself, it is important that we must continue to make reference, because you see, we must not abuse this public space and thinking that our people are to that extent ignorant. So we're just doing a comparative analysis. There are some spaces that we must avoid to play into because we get exposed in the process. And having said that, you know, when you came here, Honorable Bogatsu, you just said Honorable Mosenukhi failed dismally, even before you could articulate key areas of performance. I don't know what type of performance measurement you are using here, unless it's a street language that you normally use in EFF. But we thought we are in an academic environment here because the people who are actually employed to deliver are professionals, qualified, registered for that matter. In finance, these are registered accountants with various associations. So the political head is the overall responsible person, and she must be measured on the basis of the output made by the officials. So as I want towards a conclusion, I thought I want to spend more time on some of these things. You spoke about lack of provincial stability. I don't know what is the measuring tool that we are using, when in actual fact we have never heard over, let's say, the past 10 years that the Northwest provincial government was ever threatened by banks that it cannot manage its finances. There's always been financial stability. The audit outcomes have shown improvement at all times from one year to the other. And the projects that are being executed are bankable projects, which means even when you go to the bank may be more than willing to give you loan based on the fact that this project have got security. So I thought I must just relate to those some of the issues that has been raised here. The issue of Dijobota, it is a well-known fact that Dijobota is not led by the African National Congress. It's a collective municipality of a group of people. But every time there's an issue there, a reference is made to the African National Congress, forgetting so quick that people are sitting in the nights, exchanging positions amongst themselves. Honorable Wallon, we really appreciate the input you've made, acknowledgement of the performance that the African National Congress-led government has made to date in terms of systems that they've put in place. And we also want to assure you that it's a well-known fact that you've got a system, internal systems, internal control, AG, amongst others, as well as the law enforcement. All these institutions are ANC-created institutions as a means to maximize compliance. And we really want to appreciate that you did not turn your eye away from the reality that the ANC is really trying its best under the circumstance. So you're speaking to the 3 Minutes Party. The other 3 Minutes Party MK, which speaks from the mandate directly from Nkandla for that matter. I don't know if you really have a caucus room here. You get your mandate direct, you dare not, you know you'll be gone the next day. That's why even when you speak, you want to make sure that Baba, we are Guzan. So we will be listening to you with interest going forward. Overall, we are more than impressed with the direction the African National Congress is taking. Would continue to appreciate inputs that are made from the floor, not those 6 Minutes parties forever. Now they have got the new alliance, progressive forces, as if they are in a political conference trying to win a vote as such, instead of concentrating on what is important to the needs of our people. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, honorable members. I'll be calling, honorable members, as I'll be calling the MEC, I'll request the chief whip and the whips of parties to ensure that their members are in the house. Honorable MEC, you have 6 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, ba no felisiwa ko ba bona question paper mara bone ba ga ba dio tsedikwa question paper speaks about the budget vote of provincial treasury. The person comes here and talk about Kenetso Mosenuri and not the programs that are supposed to be delivered by the provincial treasurer. And I thought by now that my honorable colleague would have at least matured, because would understand in the past she was not exposed to this platform. But it seems that development it's taking its own time. It's at a snail pace. But we will hold hands with you, Honorable Bukhatsu. It's a journey that will travel with you. We are committed to, after all, we are women, we must empower each other. So that tomorrow we stick to the script. We must debate the budget vote, and we are alive to the challenges of our people. We are also not blind to the achievements that we have made as the African National Congress and this government that is led by the African National Congress of the Northwest Province. We are not blind, and we are committed to addressing the challenges that we are faced. And we have a collective responsibility, irrespective of the political lines we stand on, because this is our constituency and they've decided to make this provincial legislature in this format. Thank you very much, the chairperson of the portfolio committee. As agreed, we will submit the provincial representatives to the committee with their qualification and their designated municipalities. We wish to emphasize the financial recovery. It's a plan that must be implemented by the municipality, not the provincial representative. They are there to ensure and be the eyes of the provincial executive that the municipality is implementing the directives in line with the agreed financial recovery plan. And where we see a lag, we will intervene and escalate the interventions. And again, in terms of the issue of Honorable Tsolo, you know, when a person speaks about people in air-conditioned offices, when she was just an official just a month ago, it tells you the type of official we used to have, because it means she's speaking about herself and the colleagues, because they were not, and that's why sometimes service delivery was compromised, because officials, they have not seen this administration at work. But they conclude that people are sitting in air-conditioned offices. It's because they were officials. They are the ones who have compromised service delivery, and deliberately so that they can stand here in opposition benches and want to cast aspersion to the government, whereas they were supposed to be public servants and service our people. So there's nothing that they are going to say here and that will change our mind. This is a type of public service that we had, and it means it's the type of public representative that we are going to have. Just grandstanding to please Ubaba. And in terms of NTI, we have articulated here that we are also not having sleepless night. The fact that NTI has not submitted its financial statement, it's a cause of concern. And we have explained here that we are taking it upon ourselves, working with the responsible department, COSATMA, to make sure that we will prepare the financial statements and table them, even if it's outside of the legislative framework. But we would make sure that those financial statements are delivered. But most importantly, we're together with the Premier support, we will get NTI out of the business rescue. And it will be out of business rescue, and our people and that institution will be restored to the people of Northwest. Now, we have explained here that many municipalities used to adopt unfunded budgets. Now, out of those many municipalities, it has reduced from 15 to 10 that adopt funded budget. In terms of the audit outcome, Honorable Sebego has just briefed you that in the past we used to have disclaimers in public entities, and we no longer have disclaimers. And in terms of what the AG has stated on our own findings and risk as a provincial treasury, it's our ability to support support public entities and departments, including municipalities. And that's why we've reported to this August House now, if any of you were listening on Honorable Bukhatsu, that we have put internal audit committees and risk committees that have been accepted by accounting authorities and accounting officers in respective public entities. That will, so that we address the risk that has been identified. Amongst others is the ICT environment, which we have addressed with the Office of the Premier, amongst other issues that have been stated. So as the Provincial Treasury, we are committed to make sure that the department, it will serve fully its mandate and it will support all relevant departments. And with the challenges that we have of fiscal constraint, we've outlined and articulated our plan of improving the financial position of this province and make sure that we rally the private sector, we rally the public sector with and even private donors to make sure we fulfill our obligations to deliver on our people and not do it alone. We will do it with the people collectively, so, and we will appreciate all the comments that have been made that are constructive, because there are areas obviously to acknowledge where we are wrong, where we need to strengthen and make sure that we improve going forward. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable M.
Thank you, Honorable MEC.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Honorable members,
According to our
Rule
rule book, 245, Section 1,
I'm now
going to use that rule.
and call the roll call of the House. Honorable Babuile, Honorable Bukhatsu,
Ke teng Speaker and ga ke ikamanye.
Honorable Butswe, Honorable Dabampe,
Good day, Speaker Nagi Kamai.
Honorable Danji, Honorable Dial,
I'm present, Speaker.
thank you. Honorable Dikolomela, Honorable Groenewald,
Present, Chair. No Speaker.
Honorable Koza,
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Kuno. Go to the mic, Honorable Kuno, for recording. Come down. No, I'm saying Honorable Kuno must come to the mic. Can you use that one? Yes, it's fine.
I'm present, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Lehari,
Present, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Lenkopani,
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Makhakhani, Honorable Makhakhani. Thank you. Honorable Maine,
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Makokoa,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Mangope, Honorable Mangope. Okay, but he's connected. He's here on the platform. He will unmute. You can unmute Honorable Mangope and okay. He will unmute Honorable Mate.
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Mudise. Honorable Moema.
Present, Speaker, and we reject.
Honorable Mohono, I'm present. Honorable Mokosi.
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Mukua.
Present Speaker.
Honorable Molapisi.
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Murweng.
Musa Kotlakete.
Honorable Musenuchi.
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Mutumi. Honorable Khosho.
Present Speaker.
Honorable Sambata, Honorable Sibihwe,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Sonakile,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Sonti,
Nikona Speaker.
Honorable Steenkamp,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Steele,
Kiteng, Speaker.
Honorable Tapi,
Ke mo ntlong ya gago Mosakgotla.
Honorable Tsulo,
Ke fano Mosakgotla.
Honorable Van Heijsteen,
Ek is hier so Speaker.
Honorable Wolhon,
Teenwoordig, dankie Speaker.
Honorable William, Honorable members, I'm satisfied that we have the majority of members in the House to adopt the budget. May we now adopt the budget. I didn't leave anyone behind, Agir. Okay. I don't want to leave anybody behind. May we now adopt the budget, Provincial Treasury, Vote 7, program by program. Program 1, Administration, 178,545,000 rand. Does the House agree? The years have it. Program 2, Sustainable Resource Management, 136,569,000 rand.
Yes. My dear was
Secretary, you must also check for me that it's been in the green book is correlating. Okay. Yes, the years have it. Program 3, Asset and Liabilities Management, 62,292,000 rand. Does the House agree?
Yes.
Does the House agree?
Yes.
Program 4, Financial Governance, 196,402,000 rand. Does the House agree?
Agree. Yes.
Thank you. The years have it. Honorable members, the Provincial Treasury Budget Vote 7 totaling 573,808,000 rand is now adopted. Honorable MEC, go and spend the money. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, MEC. Honorable members, I will now call the MEC for Cooperative Government, Human Settlement and Traditional Affairs to present the department budget speech for Vote 9 and Vote 14. Honorable MEC, due to the fact that you are presenting two budget votes, I will allow you extra 20 minutes and you are therefore having 60 minutes. Honorable MEC, your 60 minutes start now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Memo Desbomono, the Deputy Speaker, Retsepo Koza, the Chairperson of the House, Chair of Chairs, Honorable Tebogo Modise, the Chief Whip of the Majority Party, Mayor Motlalepula Khosho, Honorable members of the Provincial Legislature, our Premier Remo Khosi, members of the Executive Council, Executive Mayors and Mayors, the Chairperson of Salga in the Northwest, Rekumalo Molefe, the Chairperson of the Northwest House of Traditional Leaders and Khoisan Leaders, Khosi Tarimautwe, His Executive Makhosi Arona, the Head of the Departments of COGTA, Dr. Ben Bole, and Human Settlement, Mekhomotso Mahlobo, the CEO and staff members of the Northwest Housing Corporation, SAWIC and Built Environment Industry, all sectors and stakeholders, le batlapitsombal barona madume. Honorable Speaker, I'm grateful and appreciate this opportunity to present the budget speech for the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs and the Department of Human Settlement, respectively, almost 2 months after the 2024 general elections. This period marks the end of the last financial year of the medium-term strategic framework 2019 to 2024 and the first year of the 5-year term of the 7th administration. The results of the general elections on 29 May have presented South Africa with a multi-party government authority at national level and in some provinces. Be that as it may, the Northwest Province remains under the stewardship of the African National Congress. This implies that the electorate has given us, the ANC, a chance to continue from where we had left off and continue implementing the commitment we have made. In this way, our address to this August House today does not aim at reinventing the wheel, but to give a truthful account of the progress registered and detailed plans for the 2024-2025 financial year of both budget vote of vote 9 and budget vote 14 respectively. We are also going to provide feedback on areas of our work that have not been satisfactory, giving practical ideas on how we intend to deal with those setbacks. It is the National Development Plan 2030 that correctly advocates for the strengthening of municipalities as key institutions for service delivery. This important blueprint towards achieving a better life for all recommends that building capacity among municipal officials, prioritizing the development and maintenance of infrastructure, rooting out corruption, enhancing financial management, greater transparency and accountability, less wasteful expenditure, better revenue collection and debt management, addressing the consequence of poor spatial planning, enhancing service delivery in areas of education, housing, healthcare, and other social services, supporting local economic development, including job creation initiatives, and ensuring sustainable environmental practices, and promoting active citizen engagement and participation. These are the dictates and what the NDP direct our municipalities to do, and this is the task that we need to be seized with and ensure that our municipality focus on these areas. Madam Speaker, this budget vote takes place within Nelson Mandela Month. Therefore, let me take this opportunity to pay tribute to the late former statesman Tata Rolihlahla Mandela, whose birthday we celebrated on the 18th of July by spending time with the less privileged in different parts of our province and the rest of the country, in line with this year's theme, which says that it is still in our hands to combat poverty and inequality. We spent our time in Tlhagameng, in a rural village, ensuring that the community, a family of Mutsumi, that is very destitute, at least they enjoy also the better life by affording them or donating to them a house and air furniture. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, our eyes are fixated on achieving the goals of the National Development Plan via implementing our mandate. We present our program of action for the 2024-2025 financial year, starting with the presentation of Budget Vote 9 of the Department of Corporate Governance and Traditional Affairs. In accepting the esteemed role as the Premier of the Northwest Province, Honorable Premier Mokhosi said, and I quote, "We want our municipalities to work and to deliver uninterrupted services to the people. The time for excuses is over. It is a fact that our municipalities need services. Our communities need services. They demand leaders to be accountable, and they seek a government that is accountable and transparent. Municipalities, being the heartbeat of integrated state-led development, must progressively live up to these constitutional warranties without leaving no one behind," close quote. In the previous financial year of the sixth administration, the Provincial Executive Committee of the province resolved to deploy a team of government officials to the Tsobotla local municipality for 2 years. This decision was also made following the invocation of Section 139, subsection 5 of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa on the Tsobotla local municipality. Furthermore, given the latest service delivery challenges at the municipality, the provincial government has further resolved to give additional capacity to the municipality in the form of acting directors and deputy directors. This additional capacity will be funded by the provincial government within the context of Section 154 of the Constitution. And I think this answers the question that was asked, that we are not doing anything to assist the municipalities, in particular Ditsobotla. We are elated on this declaration. We are elated on the declaration by the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, Khosi Velonkosi Hlabisa, to include Ditsobotla in the 5 municipalities across the country to receive assistance from the National Department. This gesture resonates well with the spirit of the district development model as we continue to march together. This illustrates the intervention that is being made not only by the provincial government, but also by the national government, Honorable Bokhatsu. Honorable members, we made a pronouncement in the previous financial year to implement the local government turnaround strategy skills audit and deployment of postgraduate students to our municipalities as an intervention measure to change the face of local government in our province. We are proud to give feedback on these interventions, which remain in a full swing. Overall, we are satisfied with the results so far. All municipalities have completed the skills audit instituted last year, except for the following municipalities: Naledi local municipality with the lowest participation rate of 86.76%, and Ngaka Mudirumulema district municipality sitting at 62.28%. And this was as a result of some of the officials who refused to cooperate with the department. We have engaged the executive mayors of this municipality, and the necessary intervention would be taken. The turnaround team of experts in the field of engineering, finance, town planning, and information technology are hard at work in assisting our municipalities. The postgraduate students are also beginning to make a positive impact in different fields of their expertise. The skills audit project will be completed by the end of August this year, and the outcome will be communicated to municipalities and the necessary intervention. Thereafter, capacity development program will be executed to attend to the gaps that shall have been identified to further strengthen good governance in our municipalities. Honorable Deputy Speaker, last year we issued a directive to all municipalities to fill up all vacant positions of senior management and critical vacant position. To this end, out of 22 municipalities, only Madibeng and Lekwatemane municipalities are yet to appoint their municipal managers, and we hope that this process will be concluded soon. This aspect of municipal administration is receiving the highest priority to fulfill our commitment. In pursuit of a clean administration in our municipality, we'll roll out a training program for councillors, officials, and community members on the municipal integrity management framework. The framework set out the standard that guide how the municipality will conduct their services through a high standard of integrity and ethical behavior. We'll do this as part of restoring public confidence in local government without leaving no one behind. Motlatsa Musa Khotla, municipalities are among the public institutions actively contributing to Eskom financial woes, as well as to water utilities. Currently, Eskom is owed a whopping 5.4 billion by municipalities. In seeking to address these ills, the department, in collaboration with the provincial treasury, as indicated by my colleague MEC Mosenukhu, has assisted onboarding municipalities into a program on debt relief, which create mechanism for them to catch up with their contractual obligations. What is happening? Contractual obligation with ESCOM. These municipalities are the following: Madibeng, Khetlen River, Makwasi Hill, Ramotsere Muilwa, Ditsobotla, Naledi, Tswaying, Mamusa, Lekwatemaning, and Matlosana. The department has put a monitoring and evaluation mechanism on the compliance standard by municipalities with this arrangement. Furthermore, the department, in collaboration with the provincial treasury, has also introduced revenue enhancement policy interventions for municipalities to meaningfully realize revenue collection and be able to honor their credit obligation. We'll continue to monitor and evaluate the impact of this intervention. The department, working with the provincial treasury, will continue to institutionalize capacity support in municipalities to ensure that municipalities prepare their annual financial statement and are in line with the standard as enjoined by the Municipal Finance Management Act. We are also closely monitoring all municipalities to ensure compliance with the EMPRA, or the Municipal Property Rates Act. The department will continue to provide institutional and technical support for the effective implementation of the management of EMPRA. The Municipal Public Accounts Committees remain critical oversight structures in terms of the MFA, which we continue to empower through multifaceted intervention in alignment with the support role of the provincial treasury. We'll continue to strengthen our support to this front. Very soon we'll join the provincial, the SCOPA committee, to engage with the committees across the province. The provision of potable water and decent sanitation to our communities remains a priority. Last year alone, we set aside an amount of 68 million towards water and sanitation infrastructure projects in at least 13 local municipalities. And those municipalities are the following: Moretele, Khetlen River, Moses Kotane, Ramotsere Muilwa, Tswaying, Ratlou, Maikeng, City of Matlosane, Naledi, Greater Taung, Mamusa, Lekwatemaning, and Kagisano Molopo. The majority of these infrastructure projects have been completed, except for the project of Tswaying and Naledi local municipality, which will be completed by end of August. These projects have sustainably brought access to drinkable water to our communities in these areas. The department will continue engaging the provincial treasury and relevant stakeholders for additional funding to bring dignity to the livelihood of our people. We have a firm belief that universal access to clean drinking water remains the fundamental to our residents. For the 2023-2024 financial year, our municipalities allocation, the province recorded the highest municipal infrastructure grant, or the MIG expenditure, of 1.882 billion, which represent 97% of the total adjusted expenditure, allocation of 1.968 million. The last highest achieved percentage which was 91%, was recorded in 2018 and 19. The remaining 3% for the 23-24 financial year amounts to 60.799 million and has to go through rollover processes. 12 municipalities have achieved 100% expenditure. And these municipalities are Naledi, Mahikeng, local municipality. I will not mention all these other municipalities in the interest of time. We are currently working with the provincial treasury to assist all those municipalities that could not achieve 100% expenditure. And those municipalities are your Moretele at 90%, Rustenburg at 96%, Khetlen River at 92%, Mamusa, which was the lowest at 57%, Kagisano Molopo at 83%, Matlosana at 84%, and Matwasil at 83%, without leaving no one behind. To address poor performance on national conditional grant, the department will support municipalities with a specific focus on the following contributing factors. Late appointment of service providers, I think my colleague Emisi Musenu has also spoken to this issue, and reprioritization of the MIG implementation plan just before the new financial year. We call on municipalities to continuously assess the progress of these national grants in line with the project timelines, regularly monitor projects, ensure the timeless processing of the payment, and intensify stakeholder involvement through verification. We want to appeal to Council to play an oversight role, monitor the implementation of all conditional grant, and make grant-funded project standing items in all Council meetings. We are in the process of reviewing the draft Northwest Provincial Spatial Planning and Land Use Management Bill 2019. The bill aims to set out the responsibility of the MEC, municipalities, and traditional council, and to create uniformity and redress of the past imbalance in matters relating to spatial planning and land use management. The project is ongoing and needs additional funding for due process to be completed. With regards to the local economic development for the 2024-25 financial year, we have partnered with the National Department of Cooperative Governance to capacitate all practitioners in municipality to develop implementable LED strategies. This will create an opportunity for our municipalities to attract investment and stimulate economic activities in their areas of jurisdiction. The regulation on district development model were gazetted in May 2024 to provide for an intergovernmental framework and operational model that will frame the coordination and synchronization of local intergovernmental development priorities in the context of the DDM through a set of intergovernmental structures and the one plan as part of the institutionalization of the DDM. We therefore urge all structures and government departments led by the Office of the Premier in close partnership with the department to start supporting the implementation of the District 1 plan and integrate their plans and budget for meaningful impact. Our department will start to roll out workshops to educate all sectors on their expected roles. Honorable Premier, we are making a call for your support for the inclusion of the DDM implementation in the performance contract of all accounting officers, including municipalities. It is time we put the district development model into action. In the 2023-24 financial year, the Provincial Disaster Management Center strengthened the disaster response structures and system at municipal and provincial level. All sectors, departments, were supported to develop and implement their disaster management plans in line with the Disaster Management Act of 2002. We can report that all 22 municipalities were assisted with the implementation of the applicable legislation of the disaster and fire management, as well as support on matters relating to information management and related aspects. The department will continue to work with stakeholders to strengthen coordination and response measures for severe weather-related hazards. Turning to the traditional affairs, honorable members, in April 2023, the department held a 3-day-long working session with the Kosi at Sun City. Deliberation led to some resolutions that were duly adopted, the majority of which have been implemented. For an example, payment of ex gratia to the members of the Northwest House of Traditional and Khoisan leaders, procurement of 17 vehicles for traditional council, and adjustment of subsidies. We are in the process of procuring additional 10 4x4 vehicles for traditional council in this current financial year. This remains a clear indication that as a provincial government, we value our traditional leadership in the province. Traditional leaders decided in 2019 to unbundle the D account to allow traditional council to manage their funds on the proviso that the account was subjected to a forensic audit. We can report that in April this year, all traditional leaders were provided with their financial statement working together with the provincial treasury. Traditional council were also given their financial reports dating back as 1994 when we start with our democracy. Honorable members, with dispute lodged by the Khosi in January 2023 with the former Minister of Kokta over the formula for the determination of the number of traditional council members, our feedback to this August House is that the dispute has since been resolved. A new formula for the composition of traditional council was gazetted in February this year, 2024, and the deadline for the reconstitution of the traditional council is set for the 5 February 2025. Madam Honorable Deputy Speaker, to expeditiously resolve traditional leadership dispute, we committed to adopt a new approach. To that end, on 29 January 2024, the acting premier invoked Section 59, subsection 2 of the Traditional and Khoisan Leadership Act 2019, Act number 3 of 2019, to establish 6 investigative committees to deal with dispute relating to Banogeng, Bakubumba, Rateo, Bakwena, Ba Mudisana, Ba Matau, Bahurutsi Baha Muilwa, Bahurutsi Bo Manyane, and Bakwena Ba Mohopa. 3 investigative committees have completed their work, and the remaining 3 will commence with the work in August. To give effect to the provision of Section 11 of the Customary Initiation Act, or CIA, the Northwest Provincial Government has established the Provincial Initiation Coordinating Committee. The PICC is charged with the task of ensuring that initiation schools are conducted according to the letter and the spirit of the law. During winter and summer initiation seasons, the PICC members had their hands full due to rampant disregard of the rules and regulations governing the institution, abduction of young kids, mushrooming of illegal initiation school, commercialization of initiation school, ill treatment of and death of initiates, and many others. Would like to thank the National Commissioner for the stance they have taken regarding the matter and the support we are getting from the South African Police Service in addressing this matter. Honorable Deputy Speaker, I want to acknowledge and congratulate Mr. Ephraim Pandolehole, the CFO at our department, the youngest in the province, who has recently received the Public Sector Leader of the Year award. The award showcases the top individuals in the country in South Africa, from the CEOs to young achievers climbing the corporate ladder. Indeed, this achievement is an indication of some pockets of excellence that we have as the province. We are immensely proud of our CFO. Hotness, I don't know about it. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the budget of the department is as follows. For the administration, it's 186,513,000 rand. Local governance is 210,215,000 rand. Development and planning is 151,728,000 rand. Traditional affairs, which we have increased, is 148,903,000 rand. The total is 697,359,000. Allow me, Honorable Speaker, to now look into the vote 14, which is human settlement. I present this policy statement for human settlement, vote 14. We as a department care and answer the call by our people to be housed in habitable houses that have basic amenities. We must also mention, as a matter of fact, that we have the best interest of our people at heart. And as government, we are answering the call as directed by the Freedom Charter 1995 and the South African Constitution. In the last financial year, my predecessor, who was also the acting premier of this province, committed the department to build 4,336 houses, and we managed to complete 3,070. As a department, we strive to reach the set target and continuously work towards overcoming some of the obstacles and challenges to increase our impact. Our challenges include, among others, so that as I mentioned that this is what we have achieved, please note the challenges. The fact that the department experienced a budget cut in the previous financial year, mainly in the third quarter, which then impacted adversely on our performance. Like many other departments, the budget cuts negatively impacted on the commitments that we have made. Motlaza Musa Kotla, please allow me to align myself with the following key focus areas of human settlement as announced in line with the Government of National Unity and the Medium-Term Development Plan to ensure the provision of leadership and guidance and vision in an endeavor to achieve our mandate, that is developing livable neighborhood, prioritizing housing for indigent households, and implementing a long-term plan for societal changes. It is important to emphasize through planning that considers the impact of programs on society and to improve both planning and monitoring for effective program implementation. Additionally, the need for alternative strategies for infrastructure program should be acknowledged. In the 2024-25 financial year, our target for units is 3,376, which is the numbers of units in the targets area with a total budget of 1.256 billion. This set budget, among others, caters for the bulk services, servicing of sites, construction of top structure, and the delivery of title deeds. On the sites, our target for sites in 2023-24 financial year was 7,264. However, as I've said, we have exceeded this target by completing 8,821 service sites. Our target for sites in 2024-25 is now 6,054 with a total budget of 76.917 million. To measure our progress, we have set specific targets for the 6 key focus areas, namely catalytic projects, mining towns, military veterans, mud houses, block projects, and women in construction progress. Registered thus far is as follows. In terms of the catalytic projects, our target in 2023-24 financial year was 234 units with a budget of 62.772 million. Our target in 2024-25 for catalytic project is 249 units with a budget of 82.571 million. We remain committed to our goal and are working hard to achieve our target as presented. With regard to the mud houses, honorable members, in 2023-24 financial year, our target for mud houses was 1,128. We completed 644 houses. This achievement demonstrates our commitment to improving the living conditions of vulnerable communities, particularly those living in substandard housing. In the current financial year, our target for mud houses is 736 at a budget of 134 million. With regard to bulk infrastructure, the department is allowed to utilize a maximum of 30% of its allocation towards the provision of bulk infrastructure projects to unblock human settlement development in mining towns, and 5% of the allocation as per the grant requirements in non-mining towns, municipalities to unlock human settlement development, on condition that the funding is complementary with the commitment by municipalities in their IDP and municipal budget for the provision of such bulk and other infrastructure with the municipal infrastructure grant funding. In assisting our municipalities to fast-track service delivery on infrastructure provisioning and to unlock human settlement development, the department is participating in the Provincial Steering Committee meeting chaired by COCTA and sitting every Tuesday evening. Due to the high cost required for bulk infrastructure project, the committee is assisting the municipalities in compiling technical reports to seek funding from different funding institutions like your DBSA and other sectors. The departments like Department of Water and Sanitation to co-fund the projects. The budget provision for the 24-25 financial year is at 148 million in mining towns and 60.6 million in non-mining towns. Municipalities and projects are spread across all the 4 districts. With regard to the block projects, Honorable Deputy Speaker, this aspect is one of our focus area, I must say. I must commend my predecessor for his sterling work in an endeavor to combat and ensure that block projects are a thing of the past. Surmountable progress has been registered. However, we acknowledge that a lot is still to be done in this area. It will require a lot of resources, including our commitment and relation with the entrusted contractors. I have already committed to negotiating with our National Office and Treasury for financial resources to deal with block projects across all the districts in the province, and I will be meeting with the Minister this coming Friday and the DG of the department to discuss some of these issues. Historically, housing projects were blocked mainly during the tranche payment to era to municipalities. Sometimes you allocate funds or transfer funds to the municipality, and municipality use that money for other things. A tranche reconciliation exercise was embarked upon, and acknowledgement of debt was signed. Material price escalation, especially after the deadly COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in some contractors abandoning site, poor contractor performance, and delays due to budget cuts, where the department had to reprioritize milestones and consider completions, are some of the reasons that led to block projects. In unblocking the projects, the NHBRC assessed and quantified, and thereafter contractor were appointed. Progress registered thus far, among others, is as follows. In Ngaka Mudir Mulema, 174 units have been completed. Bojanala district completed 63 units. Dr. Kenneth Kaunda completed project, it's 91, and Dr. RSM completed its 53 units, and this achievement came before the budget cuts. So was it not because of the budget cuts, we would have completed all the block projects. In terms of the women in construction, our overall percentage spent for women in construction in 23-24 financial year was standing at 31.3%, and 21% was spent on youth. It is a demonstration of our commitment to empowering women and other designated groups, providing equal opportunities for all. In the current financial year, the department endeavors to reach the 40% set aside target for women and other designated group. Honorable Deputy Speaker, as far as youth development in construction is concerned, the department will explore programs that specifically cater for young people or the youth. The program will come in the form of allowing them to be included in some of the projects. They can, for an example, subcontract for plastering, painting, electrifying, just as an example, and this will give them exposure to the built environment, and the main contractor can mentor them through all processes and steps to better equip them with skills and capabilities to improve their knowledge and expertise. Maybe we can also venture and look into what the Department of Public Works is doing in terms of the contractor development, and maybe benchmark with that and see if maybe we can have that practice in the Department of Human Settlement. The department will engage organizations of people living with disability to assist with a database and identification of contractors living with disability. They must be allowed that platform to participate in contracts in the built environment if we are serious about transforming the life of our people and ensuring that we leave no one behind. As part of our commitment, Motlatsa Musa Kotla, to providing affordable housing solution, we had set a target in 23-24 financial year of assisting 90 households at a budget of 10.369 million, where only 48 were assisted and spent 2.371 million on subsidies through the First Home Finance Program. In the current financial year, a target of 70, we have upped the target household will be assisted at a budget of 9.135 million. The focus on developing livable neighborhoods, prioritizing housing for disadvantaged households, and implementing a long-term plan for societal changes is crucial. It's essential to emphasize thorough planning that consider the impact of it, and by the end of the financial year, only 6 units at Letabong were completed and handed over. Importance of providing housing for our military vets and are working towards meeting this target. Turning to the mining towns, our target in 23-24 financial year was 1,270 units on a budget of 477.205 million. We have made significant progress in this area, completing 775 houses by the end of the financial year with an expenditure of 595.717 million in the acquisition of land. We need land. And the second 83.5 million, which will service 3,306 sites out of the total allocation of asbestos project. Motlatsa Musa Kotla ka ntlha ya tlhaelo ya matlole mo ngwageng o fetileng re paletswe ke gore re fitlhelle target ya rona. However, for the current financial year, we have allocated 2.1 million towards the assessment of houses with asbestos by the ABT companies donating 6 houses built through the ABT method. It is the wish of the department to undertake some of its project using the ABT and further implore and encourage all stakeholders to units in JB Max local municipality and 1,768 units in Mahikeng. With regard to the project called Marang Estate, I must indicate the department is currently in negotiation with a Canadian company that intends to build a self-dependent and self-contained human settlement, which is intended to be implemented in Kagisano Molopo. The Housing Development Agency is undertaking a land audit, and the MEC is scheduled to meet with the Traditional Council to reach an agreement on the availability of the land in that municipality so that this project can be implemented. The Human Settlement MINMEC resolved that provinces need to embark on a administration. However, we are still striving to get more funding from the Treasury. We will be engaging with the MEC and the accounting office of the department to ensure that we fill other vacant posts. In this current financial year, the department has budgeted about 155 million, which can only afford the department 287 posts, which is only 55% of the fit-for-purpose structure of the department. The allocated budget for the cost of employees for the previous year and current financial year does not give the department room to capacitate the core program of the department, disabling us not to attract construction registered professional in the past five years, as a salary offered is not market related and is not on your OSD structure. In augmenting the technical capacity, the department has completed an exercise on procurement by participating in the National Department's database and procure registered professional in the built environment. This team is contracted for the 15 months. 8 municipalities have been identified to be accredited, which is Rustenburg at level 2, whereas JP Max is at level 1. An implementation protocol has been signed with Rustenburg. Preparation are under treasury. However, in 23-24 financial year, the department experiences have already indicated the budget cut, which affected the turnaround of paying suppliers. This resulted in the department realizing a substantial accruals and payable by the end of the financial year. The department will continue to put measures in place. The department has received approval from EXCO to approach the DBSA for a loan. Is a court of first instance. A contempt of a ruling by the tribunal should be treated in the same breath as a contemporary of any court. The term of the tribunal runs for 3 years, and as a result, it came to an end. This development is envisaged to contribute to the economy of the environment in which they are built. The EXCO resolved that properties belonging to Northwest Housing Corp in the Free State, Gauteng, Northern Cape provinces be disposed of. All relevant processes are in place and very soon will submit a report. The Housing Corp registered a great milestone in handing over the pre-1994 title deeds, mostly township constructed during the now defunct Buputatswana homeland and all that. Honors and liabilities of properties, rates, and taxes associated with this non-core. The current act of the Northwest Housing Corp is obsolete. Progress to align the new bill with the PFMA and other pieces of legislation is underway. Let me thank my home, my political home, the African National Congress, for an opportunity to champion its objective and implement its contract with the people of South Africa and Northwest. And the commitment to support my vision. Senior management, staff in my office, and all department staff, your dedication serves as a great motivation towards implementing our mandate. Ke a leboga thata. To my wife, who is in the gallery, and the family, thank you for your unconditional support, the love. Through my address, I remind all of us that poverty, unemployment, and inequality have a human face. Our intervention must consider this fact, and our action should be a decisive response.
Leaders, Khosi Mabalane, the Deputy Chairperson of the House of Traditional Leaders, and Khosi Shole, member of the Executive Committee of the Traditional House of Leaders. Thank you. I will now call the chairperson of the Portfolio Committee of Corporate Governance, Human Settlement and Traditional Affairs, Honorable Map.
Statement presented to the House today. The 2024-25 Annual Performance Plan of the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs was formally referred by the Speaker, Honorable Despo Mohono, to the Portfolio Committee on Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs for consideration and reporting after tabling by the MEC of the Department of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlements and Traditional Affairs. The committee met with the department on the 18th of July 2024 for consideration of the budget, and the deliberations are as follows. The committee robustly engaged the department on the inability to investigate instances of irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, and the inability to comply with of the Housing Corporation. So those deliberations were as follows. The Portfolio Committee emphasized its concern regarding the housing backlog and wanted the department to account on the matter. The Portfolio Committee inquired whether the department has a medium and long-term housing plan in place. The committee also noted with concern that the department has underperformed on the indicator percentage of invoices paid within 30 days and failed to demonstrate in the 2024-25 APP how such challenges will be mitigated. The committee robustly engaged the department on the reduced number of indicators planned under Program 2, where only 4 performance indicators have been planned, as opposed to those of the 2023-24 financial year, and wanted to know the current status of those reduced. The 2024-25 APP was silent on mitigating factors to be implemented. The committee also wanted to know whether the entity has a credible plan in place for the initial beneficiaries of those flats. So, after
Honorable member, you are left with 2 minutes.
Okay. After extensive deliberations, the committee recommended as follows. The department should strengthen its monitoring and oversight over activities of the Northwest Housing Corporation. The Northwest Housing Corporation must ensure that annual targets are aligned with their quarterly output indicators. Taking into account the vision of the Northwest Housing Corp, the entity should be working in collaboration with the Department of Social Development and upgrade the dilapidated Teresa House in Mafikeng Town for the purpose of housing the destitute and the homeless. The Northwest Housing Corp must submit a detailed report on the list of properties located in Gauteng, Northern Cape, and Free State Province, which are to be sold, and the more of the sale with the respective provinces, municipalities must also be attached. The report must demonstrate a capital to be generated for the Northwest Province and be submitted prior to the implementation of the sale. So, in conclusion, the Portfolio Committee is satisfied with the submissions made by the departments on the 2024-25 APP and therefore recommends that the House process the budget. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Thank you, Honorable Members. Does Honorable Members adopt the report? Does Honorable Members adopt the reports? I want to hear it.
Yes.
The yes got it. Can I then call Honorable Kuno for the debates of the ANC? Honorable Kuno, you have only 9 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Deputy Speaker. I'm not sure whether I'm still young lion. Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Premier, Lazarus Mokhosi Arona Linteng, Honorable MECs, fellow members of the Provincial Legislature, distinguished guests, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. Today's budget debate takes place almost 2 months after the holding of the historic and groundbreaking national and provincial elections of 29 May 2024. We do not take lightly that 58% of the people of the Northwest place their confidence in this glorious organization, the African National Congress. More than anything, we are humbled and recommit ourselves to do more and to do it much better. The announcement of the election results, concomitant with the declaration that they were free and fair was an important milestone in South Africa's journey to distinguish itself as one of the beacons of democracy, not just in Africa, but in the world. The architects of our hard-won freedom and democracy, to name but a few, the phenomenal and colossal Oliver Tambo, the erudite and intellectually gifted Govan Mbeki, the stoic, affable, and fearless Nelson Mandela, the combative, resilient, yet lovable Winnie Mandela may not be entirely pleased with the results, but they will certainly find solace and comfort that democracy in our country is firmly entrenched. Although these were national and provincial elections, intense interactions with the electorate during the campaigning phase of the elections, in our case, interactions with the people of the Northwest, evoked a recurrent melancholic tune that they are fed up about the state of our municipalities and that they demand action now. The fundamental question remains the following: how do we make sure that municipalities do not only do the basics right in terms of the objects of local government as enshrined in Section 152 of the Constitution, but become catalysts for economic growth and job creation? This point was succinctly made by President Cyril Ramaphosa on the auspicious occasion of the opening of the Parliament on in July 2024, guided by the overarching thrust of the Government of National Unity, which is inclusive growth and job creation. These were his words. The GNU has resolved to dedicate the next 5 years to actions that will advance 3 strategic priorities, which are inclusive growth, job creation, and reduction of poverty, and then to tackle the high cost of living, and build, importantly, a capable, ethical, and developmental state. He went on to state the following: to achieve rapid inclusive growth, we need to fix our municipalities. Growth happens at the local level, where our people live. Our municipalities must become both the providers of social services and facilitators of inclusive economic growth. A lot has been written and indeed spoken about the dismal state of our municipalities. Whenever members of the fourth estate are to report about our municipalities, there's always an expectation that it is going to be negative news. I refuse to accept that this should always be the case, that our municipalities should always be defined in the realm of poor performance, in the realm of maladministration, in the realm of corruption. The ANC is firmly of the view that the undesirable state of our municipalities, in fact, present a plethora of opportunities to propel Northwest to being one of the best performing provinces in the country. This state underscores our belief as an ANC that Northwest is in fact a sleeping giant. If you all draw a line in the sand, irrespective of political affiliation, that never again are we going to tolerate any form of mediocrity in our municipalities. If we all make it our business to make our municipalities not just functional, but beacons of service delivery and excellence, and beacons of economic rejuvenation, if we, as members of the 7th Provincial Legislature, set our sights in living a legacy so that they continue to play a very important part in this journey. In conclusion, the ANC is proud on this day to move for the and support the adoption of the budget vote of the Department for Cooperative Governance, Human Settlement and Traditional Affairs for the financial year 2024-2025. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Can I then call on Honorable Tabampe? You have only 10 minutes.
No, thank you very much, Deputy Speaker, Honorable Speaker Medesbo Mohono, leaders of the Economic Freedom Fighters as led by Commissar Shakes Botswe, members of the Executive as led by the Premier, members of the Provincial Legislature, community at large, le magosi a rona ke re dumelang. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Corruption Region, Department of Cooperative Governance, Human Settlement and Traditional Affairs has been reduced to be the ANC's go-to cash cow in the province. The threefold department, which is responsible for overseeing municipalities in their various mandates, building houses and providing governmental support to traditional houses, is by far one of the worst performing departments in the provincial government, but always receives some of the biggest resources allocation. Speaker, the annual performance plan provided gives a clear indication of how little emphasis is placed on the actual fulfillment of the department's core mandates over its ability to spend allocated funds irregularly. However, the APP was not needed for that. The proof is in the pudding. Honorable Speaker, the allocation for the Department of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs is a matched 697.3 million for the 24-25 financial year. Of this amount, under the local governance program, the sub-program of municipal administration, which monitors the compliance of municipalities to applicable legislation, received an increase of 14.5 million. But the budget of the sub-programs that actually support and facilitate this compliance were all decreased. This shows that the intention was not to spend this money on ensuring that municipalities are legislatively compliant, but rather to fatten the pockets of those who are given a monetary role. Furthermore, the sub-program of municipal infrastructure received one of the highest budget increases of 29.17 million to support, monitor and capacitate municipalities with the development and provision of infrastructure for basic services. Yet there are continual service delivery protests throughout the province that never seem to have any solution apart from intimidating community members with rubber bullets. Every year since 2021, there has been outcries to declare the Northwest Province a state of emergency following the raging wildfires and floods that continue to consume thousands of homes, hectares of arable land and cattle. However, in addition to continuously ignoring these outcries, the department decided now to cut financially as a result of tenants refusing to pay rent. But no action has been taken, nor any plans of actions have been communicated. Honorable Speaker, with all these failures, the Department of Human Settlement still saw it fit to pump almost 45 million into the entity for the 24-25 financial year. Honorable Speaker, the traditional houses in the province are visited by the provincial government whenever they need support, but are always an afterthought when it comes to having their needs met. The traditional council offices are dilapidated, as acknowledged by the Department of Traditional Affairs, who stated that it will take them 31 years to meet the demands of renovation and construction of offices they are allowed to deteriorate by failing to maintain them regularly. With the foundational challenges this department imparts onto traditional leaders, one tends to wonder whether the department realizes that it is actually dead weight stagnating the development of traditional leaders in the province. Honorable Speaker, this threefold department became an even bigger mess under Honorable Maloi and has no prospects of doing any better under Honorable Molapis will have the
Honourable member, you are
Department
left
of
with 2
Public
minutes.
Works to handle all his dodgy dealings. He ran away. Therefore, as the EFF, we reject this nonsensical and camouflage budget as it does not speak to the interests and aspirations of the people on the ground. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I call on the Honorable Member Stein? Honorable Member, you have only 8 minutes.
Honourable Speaker, today we consider the 2.5 billion budget for the Department of Coxta. This department's mandate is to improve the lives of Northwest residents. But sadly, considering the collapsed state of local government and the housing backlog, its performance and impact appears to be negligible. Bo masipala bohle ba bodileng mona mo bokone boperima. Bo hang. Honourable Speaker, the department's assistance to municipalities has no positive impact, and the problem is twofold. First, it's a political problem. That is, that the ANC has been unable to enforce discipline and accountability amongst its deployees to local government. Secondly, municipal administrations are politicized through cadre deployment along factional party lines to the extent that directorates are engaged in factional battles themselves. Honourable Deputy Speaker, the crown jewel of failed government in Northwest must surely be Ditsobotla local municipality. Nothing works. Residents find themselves without water, electricity, refuse removal. This is coupled with a non-existent billing system, sewage running down the streets into communities, and poor roads maintenance. Ditsobotla is bankrupt, using the equitable share to pay salaries instead of funding service delivery programs or to pay those service providers. By the way, have now refused to conduct any further contractual work due to extended delays in payment. How will Ditsobotla pay its 1.14 billion rand ESCOM debt? That is the question. Honourable Speaker, the Coxta APP does not speak to the challenges facing Northwest residents. It is not aligned to the agenda of the Government of National Unity as outlined by President Cyril Ramaphosa last week during his SONA. Through you, Speaker, MEC Mulapis Yaukupahle, please align this APP to the agenda set by the President towards rectifying the collapsed state of local government in our province. And here, it's heartbreaking, only subsidize 70 first home finance initiatives. Speaker, we know that the bulk of the housing problem is in urban areas, and it affects those individuals that earn between 3,500 and 22,000 rand a month.
Honourable Member, you are left with 1 minute.
Only 70 FHF initiative is unacceptably low. Chair, the Housing Corporation, they want to build mega cities and smart cities, and they want to sell properties, but they are unable to function. That CEO of the Housing Corporation wants to be the next Pam Golding of real estate in South Africa, instead of working towards its mandate. Questions around the DBSA loan remain unanswered. We have to get back to basics. If municipalities are not fixed to its full functionality, this government will never be able to deliver its services and on its mandate. It is about creating integrated.
It is ridiculous, Comrade, Honorable Deputy Speaker. It is the department, it is the most ridiculous department and the most scandalous department and fundamentally corrupt department that is unable to provide anything worth the dignity of our people and the dignity of itself as the government. So there is no way that the MK can adopt a budget and even support the budget in which human settlement allocation and infrastructure built for people who are military veterans, which MKP feels very closer to their heart and feel very passionate about, because some of them are members of the MKP who only have less than 20 houses were built since the whole thing of military veterans. We acknowledge the fact that you talked about the snail pace in addressing the issues of military veterans. We are almost 30 years into our democracy. Seated chair, almost 30 years down the line, we still are talking about military veterans who some of them are old enough to be dying now and are still not having their houses built in Northwest. We are still negotiating in terms of papers, agreements, and everything else. How do we treat our freedom or our liberation freedom fighters? How do we treat those who sacrificed their lives and you still have such government thinking that it is worthy to respect? Secondly, still want to believe that with all the budget that only built less than 20 houses in all the entire province and think that we would be honored with a vote and support to go and splash again only to come and build one house. If you want to go and splash money, as you have been doing, as MKP, we only not support a budget that will have turned around and victimize the very former Umkhonto weSizwe military veterans or former liberation freedom fighters who fought for this particular government to exist, and treat them in the manner in which you treat them. If they want to go and chow the money as they would always chow it and fail to build houses, let houses all play. Some of them left at foundation levels and have done nothing to give our liberation fighters their dignity back. Eradicate mud houses in some of the areas across the province and to bring our people to having proper houses, bringing their dignity and their sanity back. As long as the department is continuing with this unacceptable conduct, behavior, attitude, and character, the department will remain useless, and everybody knows what is happening in that. Is corrupt entrepreneuring, nigger, faka, it cannot be condoned. It cannot be welcomed by MK. It's here to reject all kinds of splashing that is its nature in spitting in the face of not only of our rural poor and the working class in general, but that is disrespectful, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and continues to undermine the well-being and the welfare of the former military veterans who are actually most of them former MK war veterans. In conclusion, Honorable
Your time is up, Honorable
I
Member.
therefore reject the budget as it has been presented. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I then invite Honorable Groenewald. Honorable Member, you have only 3 minutes.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Honourable Deputy Speaker, we came to a point in local government of the Northwest where we must start to admit that we have failed. The only way to get the rudder to turn and unstuck is to start looking at other ways that had not been implemented yet, and we do have the tools. The question, though, is do we have the will to do so? Honourable Deputy Speaker, we live in a new advanced stage of electronics where artificial intelligence can assist, create, manage and help where there is shortcomings. Governments always state that they are a digital revolution, yet government is still set in its ways. So let me leave this in each listener's mind today. If you are serious about change, serious about doing something different and set a new pace, be brave enough to embrace technology. With real-time audit systems, no municipality will have an audit finding of tender documents that disappeared. Communities can lodge a complaint on a phone application and follow its progress until it has been resolved. Draw their service accounts and take pictures of their own meter reading. This is but a few examples, but it can save local government billions, money that otherwise could have been spent to grow the local economy or better services, even bringing services rates down. I challenge every department and member today to embrace technology and be brave enough to implement such. This House has a say in the implementing it, and it will be your voice that will be heard. Honourable Speaker, furthermore, local government is tasked to deliver services to great areas with the wall-to-wall municipal boundaries. No good story came from bigger municipalities except that of office bearers getting a bigger salary. This practice must stop, and where there are greater municipalities, sub-councils must be created. This will ensure services to get closer to the communities. And let me take my time to just quickly respond on a 3-minute statement that was made. It's not the 3 minutes, it's how you use it. Sometimes more is less and less is more. Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Honourable members, let me inform you that Honourable Mangope is next. He's not in the house and he's also not logged in, so I will go straight to Honourable Williams of the ANC. You are having 8 minutes.
Motlatsa Musa Khotla, yo re tshwereng gompieno. Musa Khotla mme Sebonta Despo Mohono, Dautona Premier Lazarus Mokhosi, maloko a Executive Council a nang le rona fa, maloko a kgotlatheo molao ya Bokone Bophirima, magosi a rona a tswang ntlo ya bagosi, baeng ba rona ba ba tlotlegang, borra le bomma, ke ikokobeditse. Motlatsa Musa Khotla motswana wa tlare ntja e bogola koloi e tsamayang. Jaanong ntetle ke itshware ke seke ka itepatepanya le bomora molatlha le boa. Ke ba bogele ke foge go thuma mo sebodung sa thefosano e sa ungeleng baagi ba Bokone Bophirima sepe. A party with no objective and manifesto formed as a result of impulse can only serve as a howling vanguard to the movement like the ANC. We're not surprised. And we accept that it is okay for a party that was formed on an eve of an angry old man can actually come and howl when we are supposed to add value to how we change societies in the Northwest. We note the rejection of all the parties of the budgets. We note. But I'm asking myself, on the people that vote them into this house, how do these parties want the services that the department is presenting to be implemented? How do they want them to be? Do they really care about the people of the Northwest? I'm just asking and throwing it actually to the voters of the Northwest. Honorable Speaker, the 2024 national and provincial elections results have once again underscored the significance and of a functional and capable cooperative governance systems as envisaged by the Constitution. Our people have directed us to unite and work towards achieving the noble objectives of the national development plans, particularly through enhancing basic service delivery, accelerating inclusive economic growth, urgently addressing for the masses. As the ANC, it is imperative that we advance people's interests by forging ahead with a struggle to make local government work for the benefit of our people. We owe it to our communities to better their lives through effective and impactful service delivery. Our constitutional injunction enjoins us to improve coordination across local spheres of governments in aid of integrated planning, implementation, monitoring and evaluation, which underpins the principles of a capable and developmental state. These injunctions, Honorable Deputy Speaker, we believe as the ANC, are the cornerstones that will drive the country to a developmental, efficient and ethical local government that is able to impact on the lives of the citizens positively. We have already alluded above. Our legacy of milestones of visible footprints remains. As we transition to the 7th administration, we are ready to tackle several challenges which are before us, which includes providing basic services such as water, sanitation, particularly for the marginalized groups living at the peripheries of cities and other urban agglomerations. The ANC considers the department service delivery targets must be underpinned by principles such as resourcing economic development initiative in all municipalities in the province, whilst protecting social services by strengthening departmental capacity to implement infrastructure projects and delivery of services in all municipalities, and encouraging good local governance and transparency to realize these values. We are of the view as the ANC that municipalities must provide immediate interventions in terms of provisions of services, because it is at the coalface of our communities. We know it well that none of us acting alone can achieve this success. We must therefore act together as a united people, not to howl at one another, to build this province to better life of our people. Despite the challenges experienced by municipalities, such as failure and collapse of governance and administrative system, legislative provisions and prescripts flouted, especially with regards to supply chain management and declining audit outcomes, with increased trends and on unauthorized, irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure, which remains a historic challenge for municipalities. There is a need for a concerted effort to address the challenges in municipalities to restore delivery of services for all our communities. We are of the view as the ANC that municipalities must continue to address the challenges going forward. We urge the department to continue to implement measures and intervention plans in municipalities that remains distressed, and in certain circumstances, financial recovery plans for financially distressed municipalities. It is noteworthy that the department is making gains. Thank you very much. It is noteworthy that the department is making gains in this regard in municipalities on unauthorized, irregular, fruitless and wasteful expenditure in collaboration with the provincial treasury and SALF in order to achieve better services. We welcome
challenges. We know what is happening. Our response must be, since we know the challenges, what is it that we are doing to address those challenges? How do we respond to that? And we came here and said, one of the issues that we'll have to attend to is the implementation of your national development plan, which outline what municipalities need to do. Coupled with that would be the implementation of the back to basic, which speak to the political stability in the municipality, which speak to issues of governance, which speak to issues of service delivery, your sound financial management, your institutional management, and your community satisfaction. We must say, how does the municipality, or how do they respond to these issues? And we outline to say, if municipalities are to do well, they must have strong political and administrative leadership. They must council meeting as legislated, they must sit. Council must function, there must be oversight structures, there must be regular report to our communities, there must be low vacancy rates, there must be collection rates above 80%, there must be if we can do that, I think we should be in a position to take our country and our people forward. So I'm saying I support what has been said by honorable members and honorable
staff. You have only 1 minute left.
Look, I would not respond to what honorable is it. Teme Otsolo, I no longer who are you. But somebody who was in the administration, like what Ms. Mosenogi said, just 2 months back and come back and here and just come and waffle. You were just waffling. You are part of administration, or now you have changed the colors. So your
Honorable Di Kolomela.
Di Kolomela, present.
Honorable Groenewald.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, President.
Honorable